Hi, and welcome to Android Coliseum Hangout number 105. We took a bit of a break after our 100, but we're back and we've been every week. It's March 11th, 2015, a week after Mobile World Congress and a few days after the Apple announcement, but we're going to talk about Android and we're going to keep it to Canada. So tonight we have Ryan, and you guys are in a different zone than me. So, different order. And then Siobhan, also out east, and Tom, who's out in the west. And I'm in the middle.
Welcome, guys.
I'm in the
We
middle.
need somebody from the East Coast. We have somebody from the West Coast, more Central.
I'm not East.
East Coast.
Not east enough. You can move to New Brunswick.
Okay.
We need like a true Newfoundlander or something. Or
Oh.
someone to drink screech with on air.
Oh, yeah. And call us buys.
Hey, boys.
Okay, so let's kick it off. We had some announcements, and Brian is going to start with our topics.
Okay, so right now, you know me, I like to keep track of everything that's coming in and out of Canada. And in terms of things that are coming into Canada that we know of, is that Rogers is going to be carrying the G-Pad 7-inch version, which is sort of their entry version, but it's the LTE option that's going to be coming out. But also Sony has said that they will bring that Sony Xperia M4 Aqua to Canada. Now the M4 Aqua, is, again, like most of their Xperia devices, is going to be IP65, 68 rated, but is there more entry line? So think of your Z3 kind of stuff, but more entry line. Z3 compact, but entry line. This is only going to have a 720p. It's going to be an octa-core 64-bit processor, but only like at 1 gigahertz, 1.5 gigahertz. So not top-of-line specs, but I mean pretty good. And I think they're looking at somewhere in the range of about the $400 mark for eventually. We just haven't heard who's going to be carrying it and when it's coming yet. So that's it. Question?
You know, since the Sony store is closed, will you still be able to order that online? Like I ordered my phone online, direct from Sony. So are they shutting that down?
No. I mean, I'm not sure it's even generally available yet, just because when I heard it's coming, right? We saw this at Mobile World Congress. The M4 was announced then, so I don't think it's available anywhere. It just when they talked about it, it was one of the countries they said that it will be rolling out to availability is Canada. So that's one of the things that we heard. Okay, so but I imagine like most Sony things, once it is available, you should be able to pick that up on either at the carrier or at a Sony store, so long as the Sony stores don't close down. Anyway. Speaking about things coming to Canada, in terms of for Rogers, the Lollipop update. Now, this is a topic Martin had put in, and I swear Lollipop had already come to the Moto G and the Moto X, I thought, but he's saying it's coming in April. So I've updated our database, and again, most of the things you can find about availability in Canada, prices from carriers in Canada, firmware updates in for Canada and Canadian carriers, you'll find in our databases page, databases.androidcoliseum.com. I try to keep that database updated all the time as sort of your one-stop. Instead of having to write articles repeatedly all the time, it's one place you can go to. So that should be coming out for Rogers. And I swear, maybe it was just the like if you bought it from the Motorola store versus from a carrier. Okay. So also speaking of things of where you can get it in Canada, everybody's excited about the HTC One M9 and the Samsung Galaxy S6. So again, what we've been doing is we've been putting it all together. I had an article on where you can get and the cost of all the different carriers across Canada for the Galaxy S6. There's a link for that. But again, if you go to our databases page, and again, yes, Siobhan, if anybody is asking you on Twitter or anything, always send them straight to the databases page. That's the first thing I'll update before I even write an article.
Yeah, people ask all the time, so...
Yeah, so if we have any information, databases.androidcoliseum.com, and then you can go in there, and then you can see the carrier costs page, and that will be a cost of any of the phones on contract or outright from a carrier. So right there. So you can see that the Samsung I just lost the page here. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look here. The HTC One M9 is coming to Rogers, Bell, Rogers, Bell, TELUS, Kudo, and Videotron. We just don't know 100% of the prices yet. We do know some of the prices right now for the S6. The S6 starts at $250 or $750 on contract, and this is the S6. This is with Rogers. It'll be $350 and then $469 for the 64, the 128, and then you pay an extra $100 if you want the Edge. And the S6 will be available at Rogers, Fido, Bell, TELUS. Kudo? No, not Kudo. SaskTel, Wind, MTS, and Videotron. And as we know, many of them, as I posted on the website, there's a lot of different promotions available. Videotron has a free set of headphones. I want to say Rogers was offering or Bell was offering a free car charger if you pre-order. I got that in my text message from Bell that I could buy out my contract and sign up for the new one in S6, get a free car charger. And Cass, you're saying that Future Shop gives a $50 gift card.
Yeah, you'll get a $50 gift card at Future Shop if you pre-order.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So there's your car charger. Or any Qi or PMA charger. Was that your comment, or?
Yep. Okay. That was my comment.
Awesome. So that's all the devices that are coming out. So again, if there's any question anytime, by all means, I try to keep that database updated all the time, as current as possible. So for firmware updates, for device specs, device availability on carriers, that's all there. And I have some other stuff there about tablets, and I have some things about, cool tricks and apps and whatnot. So.
Okay, that's a lot about things that we can put on networks. Let's talk about. Tom's going to talk about some network coverage and mobility.
Yes, so we got some positives and we got some negatives. So I'm going to kind of continue off with what Ryan stopped, and essentially these devices are coming out for these carriers. Rogers, Bell, obviously going to be the big guys carrying these. Rogers and Fido, as you guys probably read throughout the week, have extended their coverage. I actually have a cell tower right outside my building, maybe 50 yards away. And so I grabbed my phone, and I have the new band that they just kind of upgraded and released. And I hit about 110 megabits per second download rate, which is incredible. So that's live, and that basically extending the coverage, obviously, but also providing faster speeds for like where you are. I mean, I was only getting 40 before, now I'm getting 110, so that's pretty amazing. Now, focusing on some of the negatives, unfortunately, is Wind also gets the Spectrum upgrade for AWS3. That's not negative, but it kind of competes against Rogers in my personal situation. We've all heard some Rogers, Bell, Fido, whoever horror stories before. They're big three carriers. And I'm personally in one of those horror stories right now, and I've been paying the same coverage, or sorry, same rate for a while, and all of a sudden now I have a discount on my plan. And Rogers had said, well, your discount expires on this day, and you were going to increase your bill to nearly $80, which I've been paying $60 for a long time. So as they found a way to jack up my bill legally, I suppose. Rogers is increasing my, yeah. So essentially, I'm going to be paying $80 whether I want to or not. And if you're not paying $80, you cannot get these devices that Ryan was just talking about unless you got their current plans. So that's where Wind comes in, as I'm going to give Rogers ultimatum saying, well, I'm going to jump ship if you don't kind of, put that discount back on. So for all those who are having a little trouble with their carriers, like I'm starting to, Wind is coming through. They just won the bid, and usually when carriers win bids, you don't see these things come to life till about a year later. So keep your fingers crossed. Wind could turn out to be a big player in the near future. So that covers my two topics, and I'll send it back to Cass.
So is Wind going to be more available across Canada? Because I know I can't go with Wind here. There is no coverage.
Around here in the Surrey, Vancouver area, Wind covers our general city areas, but once you start going to the backwoods areas like Langley and stuff like that, more rural areas, then it starts to kind of, you start piggybacking off other people, and they start charging you roaming rates, which are very small, but they do add up. So this would essentially, in theory, help them increase broader coverage, as well as maybe even give us better data speeds.
Okay, we've all found out where rural is. Kind of. Ryan and I are rural.
Well, even Martin was saying, because Martin was talking about wind a long time ago, and now what a great option it is. And I've talked to other people I know in the Toronto area who say wind is a great option for price. I mean, you really can't argue with the price. The problem is it only really works directly in Toronto. The second you go slightly out of, and I can't really say it too well because I'm Thunder Bay, I can't say cottage country, I have to say camp country, go to the camp area. As soon as you leave the main area, Toronto GTA, you're into the wind roaming, right? So therefore, you start paying out the nose. So it's really cheap as long as you stay within that zone. So that's what I really liked about Rogers and Bell when I had them at the time, was the fact that I could go around place to place and no worrying about coverage or roaming, or I had coverage. So. Well,
I remember when I went on Rogers back when they were Cantel. So yeah, I am that old. And it was. I will never deal with someone who has to go through roaming and partnerships again, because even here, Rogers used to. When we first moved up here, Rogers used to have terrible coverage, and you're always kind of wondering once you went outside of town whether you were going to have any or not. So. It sounds though like wind is expanding coverage and stuff like that, so maybe it's going to be more of a competitor, especially if they can keep their roaming rates down. So it's been a watches. Apple did their watch. I've got a tester, but Siobhan has some watch rumors. So take it away.
Yeah, this week all over the internet, I saw rumors that Oppo will have a smartwatch on the. The new thing about it is that they will have the fast charger, the fast charger, and that can charge the phone in about half an hour. Or even less. They say 10 minutes. I don't know how much 10 minutes will give you, but apparently.
I heard 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, it will be extremely fast. So imagine it's practically not having to charge it, because at work you can just connect it for 10 minutes and you have a full day of usage. So that's a game changer, because if you don't need to worry about the battery, it can have more performance, and you don't need to compromise the performance for the battery. So I really hope the rumor is true, because it is just a rumor that came from a Chinese website.
And I can totally see that, because I plugged in my smartwatch and went and had a shower. It was at 12%. I went and had a shower and got ready, and within half an hour, it went from 12% to 90%. So I can totally see a 5-minute, 10-minute charge.
Mine is a bit slower. This morning, mine lasts long now. Since the update, I forgot to charge it last night, and I woke up with 30% after 24 hours. So I was very happy, but I wanted to give it a little bit of a boost. But in half an hour, I got only 20% on the Zen watch. So, and there's the new watch from Huawei. That looks very beautiful. I heard people saying it will be very premium and very expensive, more like the iWatch. But some people say it will be around $300, $350 max, which is not so bad for a stylish watch, because it looks gorgeous in the YouTube videos that they released. So that's another new exciting option. So exciting things are coming to Android Wear and the smartwatches in general. The iWatch is just part of it. And I actually welcome the iWatch. I'm curious to see what will happen.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to have considering that the day that they said, oh, we're doing a watch, people are asking me with my fitness band, oh, is that one of those new watches? No. No, you guys know I don't do Apple, right? So why you ask me if I have an Apple Watch? So I think they'll do really well regardless. But let's move on because we're going to talk about that at the end. Lollipop got an update. We're not getting a lot of uptake just yet for even 5.0, but they've moved on to 5.1 with some of the different Nexus devices. So Ryan, you're going to talk about that?
Yeah, so poor Tom is sitting there with his Nexus 6, the latest of the latest, going, all right, and that's what we assume with Nexus devices that we'll get it. But I think we're starting to see now that we're really hitting a lot of Nexus devices. It's actually getting a little trickier to make sure that we're actually doing this properly. Oh, sorry, something going on there. But yeah, it's got a lot of hullabaloo because it's only right now available for the Nexus 5 and the 2012 7, Nexus 7, which is kind of cool. They're going the older versions first and then maybe bringing it up. I'm not sure why they do it that way, but whatever. I'm sure we'll get it eventually. So what is new? I mean, a lot of the things are sort of under the hood. Noticing one of the things is they're going to bring back the silent mode option for people. Not via the power switch, unfortunately, which I was kind of hoping for, but a little bit easier to go volume all the way down to silent and do that. You'll also notice it'll be a lot easier to connect to specific networks. So if you want to connect to a Wi-Fi network right now, if you pull down the shade, you have to tap it or long press it, and then you can get into the Wi-Fi settings to pick which Wi-Fi router you want to connect to. Well, this one, it'll have a little pop-up of the closest ones, and you can select without leaving the notification shade. There's a few other things. Let me pull up what this switch was. I mean, there's carrier support, so you can add in more carrier support features. There was dual SIM support. What else here? Screen pinning's easier. The contact cards are better. You might not even notice that if you take a look at in Google Hangouts, if you tap people's information card, it actually has the new look now. So volume tweaks. More animations. Otherwise, not a lot. So one of those things that, as much as we're like, oh, we want the latest and greatest 5.1, you know what? It's probably there's not that much difference to it there, right? So I don't know. Tom has a comment.
No, Sivan has a comment. Sivan had a question first.
I just had a question that I wasn't aware that Lollipop couldn't work with dual SIM before.
Well, I don't think it's that it didn't work with dual SIM. I think the fact that it now works better with dual SIM.
Yeah.
I guess it's just it says it's dual SIM like better support. I guess matter of how it tracks each of the different ones or something. I don't know. I mean, because I don't know how many people really. I mean, in Canada we have to really worry about dual SIM devices. So
mine is dual SIM. I didn't use it yet. I'm going to travel in 2 weeks and I'm going to try it and tell you how it went.
There you go.
All right. Okay, Tom, you have a comment?
More of a nerd rage than a comment. I talked to you guys this before we went live. To all the bloggers out there, stop posting pictures of the Nexus 6 saying that 5.1 has been officially released when you know damn well it's not released for the Nexus 6 yet. You're making me freak out and stress out over here. Don't
link baby.
Yeah, it's clickbait, and you know what you're doing. Shame on you. So, anyways, back to the game.
Okay, and then Ryan, you're going to talk about the Google shop in London. What do you guys think?
So there's a Curry shop in London that now has a Google store. So we've all heard about, the Samsung stores and the Sony stores that popped around and stuff, and some have shuttered, some have kept themselves going or not. But a Google shop, and I mean, this is in UK. We're not about to get on a plane and go over to the UK and buy the Android cookie jar, or something like that. But the idea in here now is not only because they just released the new Play Store, which Cass will talk about in a bit, but you can actually go to the store and you can see a Nest, you can see Google Glass, you can see Google Cardboard, you can see it, all the things of the Nexus devices all there, because they're actually getting much more into the hardware division. Plus, the way that Nest is working, they're really looking at expanding Nest into this whole Internet of Things. So it's really cool. And like Simon is saying, is that if you can't get there, you can actually get a Google Cardboard, plop in an app they have, and you can view around the shop and see how cool it is. I really want to buy a cardboard. I just kind of feel a little weird paying $35 for, or whatever it is for a piece of cardboard. But I thought it'd be kind of cool. So I don't know what you guys would think. Would you go visit a Google store?
Well, you started us off, Siobhan. What do you think?
Just a comment, I do have Google Cardboard, and it's not compatible with many phones, officially only with the Nexus 5, and it doesn't really work well with my phone. So don't buy the Nexus 5. If I go to a store, for sure, if it was here in Montreal, I would, go often.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm not in Vancouver, because I don't have to go to the Samsung store.
New Nexuses come out, I run to Best Buy right away to see it, so I would do the same with the Google store.
Yeah, we don't have to sit around with the F5 button refreshing. We can just bang on the door like the ice sheep.
Tom, what about you? Would you go?
If it came like around my area, I would totally go. Would I travel hours and hours to get there? No.
It's only 5 minutes on a plane.
Hey.
Well, at least go see Buckingham Palace if you're going to go to a Curry's. Okay, so one of the big things in the news in the last week was there was a guy that was traveling through Halifax, a Canadian, and he got arrested for not opening up his phone to customs. And it brought out some different rules for customs versus the police. What do you guys think? Would you be comfortable on handing out your PIN? I know I don't even use my phone for boarding passes because I don't want anybody to get the idea that anybody has access to my phone except me. So
in advance that they will look at it, I will clean up the gallery. I would make sure there's nothing secretive, but I don't think I have a problem with that. They can check there's nothing there. I'm not
I don't have anything on my phone anyways, but just a thought, if I don't want to share my PIN, I don't feel like I should have to share my PIN.
We showed them our purses. They can look inside. They see our underwear. They see everything. They can open laptops. That's an old law. That they can.
And I think that's where this is coming under.
So it's not a big difference,
Well, I mean, I put this in there because I've been really liking that TV show, Border Security, I think it's called, on National Geographic Channel. And like they do a lot of the guys that come off the airplane. They're like, okay, you're coming here. Why are you coming here? Okay, give me your phone. And they take this guy's phone, they make him give a PIN number, and they go off to another room. And then there, the buddy just starts flipping through the text message. I mean, I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, the back of my mind is like, that's freaking creepy. That's pretty creepy. And I don't know how comfortable I would be that if the guy says, okay, let me see your phone and give me the PIN number, to be like, I'm not letting you walk out to another room with it.
And I think that
I will hold it right here for you if you want to double check something, but to be honest with you,
they should have laws for that, for privacy reasons, that you should see what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And that you should be there. The guy can't just, tweet your personal texts,
Well, especially after I worked in a shop where we fixed people's phones, and that was part of, to fix and test the phones, we said, don't put a PIN on or I can't fix it. Yeah. And hearing the stories of the guys that worked there before me, right, they were like, oh, man, you should have seen these photos. I got this one girl. Oh, man, we kept these. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Tom?
I think the general rule is if you got nothing to hide, no big deal. But as a fun little joke, I would like to have a mock conversation in my text log saying, I want to seduce a CVSA officer, and have a bunch of like really sketchy selfies with like whipped cream all over my chest and like, well, doing the whole duck face kissy to the camera, and just give them something to fun.
I heard CVSA.
Yeah, just make their jobs really awkward. And when they walk back to give a phone, just lock eyes with them and just stare at them, maybe lick your lips a little bit. Make them really uncomfortable. That's what I would like to do. But anyways,
you could do that, Tom, because you're a white guy.
But being real, if you got nothing to hide, who cares? You want to go through my phone? Go ahead.
Let's have a last comment from Siobhan.
I have guest mode on my phone, so I can use for myself and then another code for guests, so I can hide.
Give them the guest code.
I'm gonna, yeah, that's what I do with everybody. Oh, you want my code? No problem. And Hangouts is hidden. I can hide some albums. So buy Oppo phones. Yes, they have guest mode.
I have guest mode on my Lollipop.
Yeah.
So do that.
I think a lot of that, you know, you guys make some good points. I would go with a border guard and maybe unlock my phone and they could look through it in my presence, but I don't think I'd be comfortable with them taking it off somewhere. Like, I have banking information and all sorts of that stuff in there that I don't particularly want to share. So,
I think
and those guys are human too.
For looking into phones and laptops.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's keep.
No?
Yeah. Let's keep moving because we're getting close to the end of our time together. So there is a new website for the Google Play Store has refreshed for their devices, and they have a whole bunch of them. So they have a lot of Android Wear stuff, and they say free shipping. Is that in Canada?
Yeah, free shipping is for Canada. I checked it out and I went to process an order, didn't actually complete it, and yeah, it's free shipping.
Well, which is nice because they are competing with like places like Future Shop where you can walk in and get it right away. And I do see the Zen Watch in the header picture, but it's not on the website. So, like, I'm really shopping around for a smartwatch right now.
Best Buy still has it in the States, I think.
Oh, really? Well, and then you can also get it at Expanses.
Oh, maybe because it's not available in Canada. That's why they don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe.
I bought it.
Okay. And then the Apple Watch. Ryan, you wanted to talk about that a little bit?
I just...
Cat among the pigeons?
I mean, there's a lot to talk about the Apple Watch. We're getting close to our time here, and I did that purposely. I wouldn't rant and rave too much. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I didn't watch any of the videos to see how they launched it. I just, to be honest, like, I can't really get through it. I find myself, I don't know if it's just because I'm a purist, I can't call it an iWatch. It's because it's the Apple Watch. But, I mean, they have this version, that version, this version, and there's just such a range of prices for small differences in it. Was kind of crazy. And people, and like there was a link bait topic I posted earlier. Somebody was like, "Oh my God, here's 8 features that Android Wear has to copy from Apple," and it was like stuff like, "Oh, the Shazam app." Well, it's not a feature of Android Wear or the Apple Watch. It's just the Shazam. It was like things like, "Oh, well, they have that feature where you can like send your heart rate or a special Morse code to somebody else, and it'll vibrate in that Morse code that you can." I'm like, who cares?
Who would do that after 5 days?
Yeah. It was just all these weird things, and I keep looking at it going like, okay, there's a button, and then there's a dial, and then there's not just a press. You can force press it. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to just like long press versus a force press.
Siobhan, do you have a comment?
I did watch the whole thing live, and it was quite pathetic because he got so excited over things that we have already for a long time.
You can make phone calls.
But that's part of their marketing, and people believe it. Kept saying never been done before about things that were done before, and it was practically lying. I didn't like that. If you really did something that no one did before, sure, take the credit, but don't say it again and again about things that are already out there, and people already have. So that was a bit, But their marketing, people think that it's so cool and that,
Too true.
I see. As going on after what Ryan said, they're showing all these features, and I'm kind of going, okay, Android has that, Android has that. Moto 360 does that, right? And talk about Shazam and how it's like revolutionary. It's to do all your music. It's like, well, Sony's Track ID does the same thing. You can actually tag it through your watch, and it's an accessible app on your watch. And what had happened is the same thing that happens every time with Apple fans, and the fans overhype the product so much that when it actually gets released, they're like, oh, I was expecting this, and at this price, because as we were talking about really early in the show, people take a rumor and they run with it as far as they can go. And it's the Apple fans that kill it for themselves. That's basically what happened.
I'm just going to say the last comment because it's almost time. I always feel like they get so excited about things that Android's had for a long time, but you have to remember that they're not in Android, so these features are new to them, and if it's exciting, then it's exciting.
Sure.
You know, I'm not into Apple at all, so I don't know what features Apple has, so they could have a whole bunch of revolutionary stuff. It's true, you don't want to say that. I never say that Android stuff is like wonderful and miraculous and you know, unicorn parts, but some people are just like that. If it makes them happy,
by all means,
and doesn't affect you personally, and see a big deal.
True. Really. Let's hope that it will succeed and it will take the whole market forward.
I think it will. I think that once Apple brings their watch out, and that was one thing that, oh, they've got millions of developers on board with this. Whatever. You know, if it shows that there's a market for small screen, developers will come and will benefit as well.
Exactly.
So, just going to wrap up. I saw that too. This is the best device of 2000, like best device. Wow.
Yeah, the best wearable of 2014, and there's a whole bunch of blogs on this, and it was unreleased. It was based on rumors, and somehow that won the best device of 2014. Go figure, fanboys.
Yeah.
Fanboys.
Well, we've got a lot of review things coming up. Ryan has this NFC ring, which, did you buy that, or did you get a sample?
They sent it to me.
Cool.
They really want to push. They have a sale on right now, so I got to write up an article. So that has an NFC tag embedded in a titanium ring, which one side is the black kind of onyx kind of color, and then you can turn it around, and it's got a little NFC-looking tag. So if you want to look tech or you want to look chic, I ordered the wrong size because I didn't bother to actually properly order the size properly. So right now it sits on my middle finger, which is great because that's where just about where I hold it, and it touches the tag. I just have to move my hand just ever so slightly, and it touches the tag. So
and about how much was that one?
I want to say this is like they're pretty cheap. It's like maybe $50.
Oh, okay. So that's like it's a fun thing.
Yeah, it's.
And then there's the Tilt Moto 360 wristband, which I think Martin has, right?
Yeah, he wrote that up. There's a review the other day, and he just keeps raving about it. Tilt has done some awesome stuff.
Yes, they have. And I have a Sony Smartwatch 3 that I'm reviewing. It's the first time I've ever gotten something brand new. I carefully opened the box because I signed something and said I would send it back the way I got it, so I've kept all the cellophane. Sad, is that what that means? But I'm only going to have it for a few days because we'll be heading off, flying away, and I'm not taking any tech with me other than my tablet, but I'm not taking my Gear Fit either. So this has been a great opportunity for me to try Android Wear and to try the Sony smartwatch. So let's have some closing comments. We're kind of running over time. We'll start with Tom.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks, Rob, for joining us on our live chat here. We don't have as many people with us today, but a couple of loyal fans really makes it a great show. So thanks for joining us today.
Sure thing. Siobhan, you have closing comments?
Can't wait to hear what you say about the Sony smartwatch. I was thinking of buying it before I bought the Zen watch. So I'm excited to hear your review and enjoy it.
Thanks. And Ryan?
Yeah, enjoy the Cook Islands for us. I mean, we're actually getting slightly better weather now. But again, I think Tom says, guys, we're really here for our fans and those who want to join in the conversation. I really hate saying our fans and our readers because really, I don't like to be above anybody. We're all fans of Android. You know, the conversation is just awesome to have. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Just going to wrap it up, say goodnight, and have a great rest of the week. And see everybody else next week.
See you next week.
Ciao.